What do you want me to say, folks? They're not making one. I've gotten a lot of requests, a lot of messages saying, hey, Jay, what do you think about this? The fact of the matter is I feel just like you feel. You're probably a little shocked because we've just gotten wind of the Oppo Find N5. And a lot of us in the United States market was really hoping for something like that. But I'm going to always come with a logical point of view. Sometimes people just don't want to hear it. But the fact is, we really don't know how well this device I'm recording with, the OnePlus Open, actually did as far as a profit in the United States, in the US market for OnePlus. We have no idea. And I think when businesses don't invest in the next iteration, a couple of things are happening. They're definitely looking at their profit gains and their margin, what it took to bring that to fruition, what it took to bring it out, what it took to manufacture it, the loss. Some of you guys should look up the word churn as a business owner. We know what it is, but you should look it up if you don't know what it is. But I think I'm excited. Okay, I was excited for the OnePlus Open. I'm still excited for the OnePlus Open. And if they bring a OnePlus Open 2 to the US market later this year or in 2026, I'll still be excited. The current OnePlus Open that I'm using, I believe this came out in 2023. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it came out in 2023. I don't know how long I've had it. I've had it since launch. And whatever that launch is, I've been enjoying it ever since. The fact of the matter is, folks, let's get outside of ourselves for a little bit. I can report to you all the news you already hear, that you've already heard, and you see it online. You see what people are saying about it. I think if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, how well did the OnePlus Open do in the U.S. market? Check that box. What was the loss that they did on there? What was the profit margin for the gain that they made off of this device in the U.S.? Sometimes I think people in the U.S. think that we're the world. The world is so much bigger than the U.S. market. You still have the option to import the Oppo Find N5 when you're able to do so. It's just a thing. Back in the day, this is why I imported a lot of phones, because the U.S. market just wasn't good enough. And the fact that OnePlus has a footprint in the U.S. market now with phones like this, I'm excited for them. The phone the OnePlus Open 2 doesn't exist. A lot of people feel like the Find N is what it's going to look like. We have no idea. But what we do know is the Oppo Find N is official now. Is the world's thinnest foldable device. One of the best looking. It kind of reminds me of this phone, just cut in half and folded back together. I don't know. It's so thin. And, I'm excited for it. Obviously, now that I know the OnePlus Open 2 doesn't exist and it won't exist. And Jay, where'd you get the information? Well, if you don't know, OnePlus made an official, one of the people that work for OnePlus made an official statement and said, hey, we're not bringing the OnePlus Open 2. We've decided to go in a different direction. And he just gave a little spiel. Some people were furious on this post. It's in the OnePlus community. If you have a OnePlus device, you'll see it in the community tab. You'll see it in your community when you go in there. And the Oppo Find N has dropped, and it's the guy's name is Vale. Yeah, Vale G. He's a product manager for OnePlus, and he decided to. He can see all the things that people are posting, obviously. So he went on February 13th at 7 a.m. and he posted a very long message here letting people know this is the reason why we're not doing the OnePlus Open 2. And, some of the comments in there, people are really selfish, man. I mean, again, you got to think of it from a business standpoint. Most of the people in these forums are not business owners. They want what they want, and they want it at the lowest price possible. So the truth of the matter is, I like that OnePlus didn't bring out a OnePlus Open 2 really fast, and that they skipped a year, and now they're not doing it again. So they're building, anxiety and good anxiety. They want you to stay excited about it. They're trying to plant hope. They could be pulling the wool over our eyes. Who knows? They could be just doing this to see how people respond, just to see the demand. Companies do things all the time just to get a gauge for, like, do you think product leaks are coincidence? You think some people, influencers online, are getting this device by coincidence, or just happen to come across it or get these special meetings? It's not. Companies want to remain profitable. And, OnePlus has to. They're not the largest company in the US. And so, they have to think from a logical standpoint. We hear what people are saying, but people's wallets aren't saying the same thing. The tech community, folks, is the smallest portion of the smartphone community. Whether you want to believe that or not, tech enthusiasts are the smallest portion. The real people, the consumers, are voting with their wallets, and they're paying for what they actually want. And it is not a lot of the phones that we see. Tons of people don't have very expensive phones. It's just not important to them. So a phone is just not important to a lot of people. And so, regardless of what you may see online, if you're a tech enthusiast, you're one of the small group of people who want what we want. We want the best of the best. We want the nicest, fastest processors. We want all these things. Just bear in mind, we're like 1% probably. I mean, the world is bigger than you and me, and the smartphone community is much larger, a larger scale. You ever seen those maps of how, they feel like the world is when you zoom out from the Earth? Yeah, think of tech communities like that. We're not the majority by a long shot. So, my thoughts on the OnePlus Open 2 not coming out. I'm not mad about it because I have a OnePlus Open, and I definitely enjoy this device, which is why I recorded with it. I wanted to record this discussion video with it because I just feel like, how do we get past, OnePlus might feel like it's just too soon, or, okay, now I spoke of maybe it didn't sell well, maybe it didn't make a lot of money off of it. But what if they're still doing very well off the OnePlus Open? What if they have several units that they're still moving? You know what I mean? Like, what if this device is very good and they're making a gang of money off of it? Still, what if they just want to keep pushing it? Who knows? The OnePlus 2, all they have to do is rebrand the OnePlus Open, the Oppo Find N, and call it the OnePlus 2 and a OnePlus Open 2, and boom, there it is. Give it a price tag and boom. But you just remember how much the OnePlus Open cost when it came out and what it was competing against. Foldable devices add on an extra $500 to $600, $700. In most cases, that's the price that you're paying for a foldable device. And a lot of people can only obtain these devices if they finance them through their carriers. That's the fact, that's just the truth. A lot of people who have foldable devices don't just go out and drop $1,800 on it. Think about that. $1,800. That's some people's check for the entire month, or for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their rent, their mortgage. That's their rent, their mortgage, and their car note, their electricity bill. Think about that for a minute. So the tech community can be a little naive sometimes in thinking that, we're the majority, but we're not. We're the small little percentage here who want what we want. So, I like the thought of bringing a OnePlus Open 2 out and having it exactly like the Find N. That would be great. I didn't import any of the other Oppo Find N devices. This will be a time where I might do it. Now that I know that, they're saying as of this moment, we're not interested in bringing a OnePlus Open 2 to the US market. I'm not mad at them. I see too many other avenues as to why they might not want to do this. And I've given you two in this video. They're not making money, or they're making a gang of money still, or they just don't see as much profit. They don't see the interest. If you take money out of it, people maybe it's just not doing as well as we think it is. You always have to think in a certain stage of something like this, because we have no idea. There's always going to be people that get online and say, oh, I Googled it and this is what I found. You're Googling what's being put out there to you. You have to go straight to the source. And the source says, I'm not doing it. The source says, we're not doing it right now. That's what you have to go with. A note about our foldable strategy for 2025, recalibrating for innovation. So this could mean a bunch of things. People took that and just instantly was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're not bringing us a phone. But I see it as a good thing. Waiting can be good. You've heard that old saying, good things come to those who wait. But the fact of the matter is the OnePlus Open still is a great device. It's still better than almost all the foldables on the market in the US. It's still better than almost all, in some form or fashion. The OnePlus Open is a more complete device, a more complete foldable than what's offered in the US, minus like the Z Flips and stuff like that. But there you go, folks. I really don't know what else you would want to hear from me, but that's my logical viewpoint on why they might not be wanting to do it in the US. It may just not be a good move for them right now. And clearly that's what he said in the post, if you haven't read it. They're recalibrating. They're thinking about their new strategy for the US market for foldables. And it's got to be something. It's got to be that, hey, we're making a gang of money off the current one and it's really doing well. Or we lost big time with this device. We don't really know if they made a profit off the OnePlus Open. We don't know. But when companies do win, we win in some form or another. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I want it to happen. But if it doesn't, well, we'll see what happens next. See you in the next video. Keep enjoying this device for now as well. Oh, so good. Take care.